This is E. Matthews Jet, and today we're going to talk about my Kyosho 50th anniversary off-road buggy re-release. I used to have this car back in the 80s, and they did a lot of changes to the re-release. It's not at its original as it used to be, and we'll take it from there. Okay, so in the early 80s, when this car came out, I had it and I sold it. I know I sold it. I don't know who I sold it. I don't remember who I sold it to. It was a long time ago. We're in 2020, May 27, May 26. I don't know if it's 12 o'clock yet at night. But when I had this car back in the 80s, the rims were different. They were yellow and they had a star, not this type of rims. People call these rims centerline, but they're also called Super Tricks. So I call them Super Tricks because from when I knew them in real race cars, they were Super Tricks. So even though these rims, as nice as they are, they really don't go with this buggy because these are rims that are built for drag cars, not for off-road buggies. Okay, and as I own this car, the original, these arms weren't aluminum. They were out of a weird metal that turned like to lead, but then on the re-release, they're all aluminum. So they upgraded that. They did them nice. And when I built this car, I polished them a little bit, but I got this car, I bought this car like 6-7 years ago. I have it already. I put the Novak, it's called Rockstar motor, 12 turn. So the car runs pretty fast, it moves. And then this wing mount don't belong to the car because this new car came with a crappy wire mount for the wing. And because I had this as a leftover dating back to the 80s, all the way going back in my parts box. Okay, and I still got differentials. I still got a lot of parts for this car that dates back to the 80s because I still got parts from back in the 80s. So when I built this kit, this car comes in a kit completely in pieces, and you got to paint the body. I went through all my old parts and I found this wing mount because I wasn't happy with the crappy wire that they gave you. They tried to release this car like the Team Associated RC10 that the wing is held with a wire. They tried that on this car and I said, no, it's not going to work. We need to get the original parts. So that's an upgrade. Real nice. And the differential with the engine mount, back then it was built completely different, not like you see it on this car. Okay, and the re-release comes with bearings and the original didn't. The original had brass bushings all over. This car back then didn't come with bearings. The re-release does. You get bearings in the front, back, inside the transmission, and the differential bearings. Back then you didn't get none of that. And the cover was different also. But it brings me a lot of memories back to when I had this car. And I still got like a lot of parts of this car left. Okay, because back then when I had this car, I also acquired other cars to keep the main car running, and I still got leftover parts. So the car is not a trailer queen, it's not a shelf queen because I do run it, but I try to keep it in mint condition because I wanted to gain years, and I want it to be in mint condition. The buggy that I had back in the 80s, if I would have had it today, that Kyosho buggy would have been worth a lot of money today. But I don't have it anymore, and I regret selling it. But like I said on my other videos, I was young. When you're young, you do dumb shit, and you get rid of the good stuff you have, and you don't appreciate it. And then later on in the future, you get to find out that if you had that car today, they're worth a lot of money. Okay, so This car is nice, very nice. It's a lot like the original because when I look at it, it has a lot of the stuff of the original car. The aluminum chassis is original to the old car. All the parts are original to the old car, minus these. These are upgraded with aluminum. And like I said, the differential is different. It's not like the original. Because, I had this car. And the only thing I don't like about this car is to get this body out and on, you gotta pretty much almost destroy the body. And they go clamped onto back here. You gotta clamp them there. You gotta clamp the back roll bar onto this roll bar chassis. So it's not clamped. I left it loose. And the original didn't have the release bar. The original, the bar was solid and you locked it, and it was practically impossible to get the battery in and out. So let's see if we can get this. You see the paint is all messed up because there's a design flaw in this car on how they made it. They should have made these either separate, or they should have cut something in here that you could put the body on and off without destroying the body. And because all my cars has got this paint job right here. You see it? I tried to do it with this one, but I did it my way. Like Frank Sinatra says, I did it my way. Okay. I run RC cars and I don't use brushless motors. I'm not into brushless motors. You can criticize me all you want, but I like the old-fashioned brush motors. These are the motors I run on all my cars and trucks. I'm not interested in brushless. You can criticize me all day until your head turns purple. I don't care. So I got a Novak speed control. I got the speed control from Tower Hobbies. It's got a 2-channel Futaba remote in here. I put the cover on here so it won't get dirty. This is the re-release, the 50th anniversary. Right there, voila. This servo is the servos I use for my model airplanes. That's actually a very good servo. They're high torque. They're very good quality. They're almost $40 a servo. They're like $38, $39, $40 a servo. This car is awesome. This is like a real miniature buggy. It's like you open up a treasure chest and you find a piece of treasure, and this is it. I do run it, but I keep it in mint condition because I don't want to destroy the car. I like to run all my cars and trucks and that I'm going to enjoy them, but I don't want to tear them up to shit because I collect them. I'm a hobbyist, a builder, a collector, and I want them to be in mint condition and looking good. If any of my friends come over and they look at it, sometimes I do family barbecues and we bring, in new people. Family brings always a guest, so my family always tells them, show them your stuff, and when I show them my stuff, I want it to look good. I don't want to show them a buggy that's torn to pieces and then tell that person this is my hobby, I want that person to see the cars in nice and mint condition, and that I use them and I abuse them a little bit, but they still look good. This is an awesome buggy. I wish I had the original one that I bought back in the 80s, but, that's impossible to make it happen. Yeah, so they did some changes to the car. It's not like the original back then. I think they should bring one completely scale original, a complete replica of the 80s version. This one is not it, but it's very close to it. I would say this car is like 80% to the real thing. 70, 80%. But, I really don't care. I got the car back. I'm happy with it. I enjoy it and I run it. You know, in the summer I go camping for 1 or 2 days. I take it with me. I take a couple of cars with me. You know, I do barbecues in the summer where we invite everybody. I bring a couple of the cars, not only for me to play with, have some of my friends to run them and let them play with it. And there's one rule: you can run the car, don't destroy the car, don't kill the car, and if you do, you just bought yourself a car. It's an awesome car. This thing is serious. This is like a real miniature off-road buggy, just like my team associated buggy. So back in the 80s, these rims were called Super Tricks. Today they call them center lines, but they're not center lines. They're actually Super Tricks. And these rims were made for drag cars, not for off-road buggies. Even Volkswagens used them for drag racing, but they didn't use them for off-road racing. Not that I saw. Maybe I could be wrong, you know. Well, it says bullet fiberglass on that sticker. I've always loved that sticker. That's why I aim to it. I'm a sticker nut. I love stickers on all my stuff. So the car is awesome, man. I saw that it got a serious scrape there. Tomorrow I'll clean that. I shaved that with a blade. I always cut off the debris. Whenever you create debris like that on plastic or whatever material you're using, clean it off. It's got your skid plate. Very nice car. And the Kyosho I had in the 80s, it was also a kit. You know. Very nice car, man. On eBay and Craigslist, they sell a lot of these old cars, and it's good to buy them. If you want to build serious collectible cars, these are the cars to get. You know, you can go into a hobby shop and buy a brand new RC car, but there's two type of cars that exist on the market. Cars that become serious collector's pieces, and cars, it doesn't matter how long you have them, they ain't worth crap. And these are the cars that are worth a lot of money. And you could resell them and make a good profit on them, but I don't. I don't buy cars to sell. Any cars that I buy and I build, they stay with me forever. They're all over my house, and I keep them. You know, and every night, every week, I put a new car on the table. I wipe it down, check that everything's lubed, and I go through the car. And whenever there's a nice day, I go run my cars. And it's hard for me because there's years I fly planes, and then there's other times I run cars. So I got a lot of stuff to play with. Okay? I'm into airplanes, telescopes. I own 2 Harley Davidsons, a Yamaha bike. It's my workbench. Okay, if you want to check out any of my other videos, go on E. Matthews Jet, and you're going to see other videos. I got a whole bunch of them. Give me thumbs up. Enjoy them. I also play guitars. I got a couple of guitars with an amp. Once in a while I make noise and I drive my girl crazy. You know, while she's yelling at me, I'm rocking the guitar. You know, she looks at me like I'm a weirdo, and I look at her back like what the hell you doing here? I'm rocking. I'm rocking, baby. Yeah, so this is my Kyosho re-release. I've had this car about 6, 7 years already, and I've been wanting it to put in my YouTube channel. So here it is. Okay, take care. Enjoy my videos. This is E. Matthews Jet signing out for the next one. Remember, if you want to see all my videos, go on E. Matthews Jet and you can check out all my videos. Have a good night. Thank you.